Again, I have on a $20 t-shirt from my college. I only have on like a $600 watch today from Shinola, which it's barely hanging on because I literally wear it every day. All right, I have no idea how this is focuses. Ooh, this kind of looks like a little bright. A little bright for me. Let's change this. There's a lot going on because this week I'm fostering a dog. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I was about to like go dress up, put on all my stuff, and I was like, with YouTube, especially because I'm not like, it's not a lot of people on here or anything. I really want this to be like super, super free and I can just show up how I want to show up. So today I was just in sweats and some like basketball shorts. And I know that I'm about to make a video about how I've made millions using my personal brand and all that stuff. And some people will log out because they will not believe that I've done that. It's a video I was trying to make 2 weeks ago, and we got interrupted by the dogs a bit. So we're back. And let's see. If you see me looking down at my phone, it is because one of our dogs will be back in about 20 minutes. So I got about 10 minutes to try to shoot this, get all my thoughts out, and I have everything documented here this time that I actually want to say, because that's the thing, right? We learn from our mistakes, we learn from our lessons. So as I was saying, I think previously, a lot of you guys might not believe me because I don't do a lot of internet flexing. I dress in t-shirts and sweats half the time. I throw around Warby Parker glasses. And I wear a sleep ring, right? So a lot of you guys might not believe this. I drive a Volkswagen. So a lot of you guys might not believe this, but I've made over, probably at this point, $2 million, probably closer to $3 million, just leveraging my personal brand. But I haven't used YouTube a lot to kind of document this process, and I want to change that. One, solely just for myself to be able to look back in another 3 years and be like, oh, wow, this is what I was thinking and doing. But two, for people like you. I always said when I started on this mission of becoming an entrepreneur, becoming a brand builder, that I was going to document the process because I wish somebody documented their process so I could watch it. And then what did I do? I got super involved in the work and rarely documented the process. Now, there are some platforms where you can see some old videos of me, but I didn't do the best job documenting the process. And so I'm going to change that. I always say to myself, though, and I tell all of our clients this, when it comes to the brand building game, we have to play in decades, not weeks, not months, not years, but we play this game in decades. And so if I'm playing this game in decades, I'm only 2.5, 3 years into this game. I got a lot more left. So right now we're going to start documenting this journey. So at least the latter 8 years of this decade-long game have been documented. So when we get to phase 2 of this game, we have a lot of the foundational building blocks here for myself to reflect on and maybe for somebody to learn from. So with that, my personal brand. I really started going ham on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all in different time periods of my life, with TikTok being kind of the latter platform and Instagram not really a platform for me anymore. But all three of those platforms are really started to put out goodwill. I always tell all of our clients to put out as much goodwill, and goodwill will pay you back. So if you ever seen or have seen any of my content, what I like to do is just put out my best information, my best thoughts, my best value for free. And that is how I attract some of the best clients, right? So I don't do a lot of put things out and do a webinar and things like that. When it comes to my brand and brand building online, all I really do is put out really good information that my ideal clients like. So with that, I've been able to grow an audience of around 200,000 followers. This year I've been doing a lot on LinkedIn, so I'll make some more videos about that. But right now my audience is around 200, 250 across all the platforms, which to most people is not that large of an audience, right? I actually know some influencers with millions of followers that don't make and have not made as much money from their brands as I have, right? So I have around 250,000 followers. And how I monetize that is a few ways, and has been a few ways throughout the years. But as over the last, let's say 80% of this time has been through monetizing them through becoming clients within our agency. So I own 2 agencies. One that I talk most about because it applies mostly to social media and all the things that I do. So that is our personal branding agency. But we get all of our clients through either me putting out content in Goodwill, people joining my email list and then learning about our agency and stuff through there, or me doing things like speaking at events, joining masterminds, things like that. I will say even the latter, me having a personal brand gets me on more stages to speak at events, helps me kind of like accelerate and do different things within those mastermind groups. And so building this brand has been literally the cheat code to all the success that I've had as an entrepreneur. It's honestly crazy because even before I was really super intentional about building my brand, one of the first stages that I actually was invited to speak on was with Eric Thomas. World-renowned speaker, if you don't know who he is. And that was literally my first speech. I was also still working in corporate at that time. And so I was really nervous that my corporate job was going to find out about me speaking there. But it was one of my old clients hosted that event. And she asked me to come out and speak. And it was great. And it taught me the power of, again, brand that got me onto that stage, goodwill that got me onto that stage. But then being on a platform like that, it just gave me so much social proof early on. I had this videographer come out. I think I paid him like $600 at that point, $700. And I remember being like, should I do this? Like, this is going to cost a lot. Because I wasn't making that much money, right? So I paid the videographer $600, $700, and then I had this like speaking reel. I had pictures of me speaking, but that immediately gave me that authoritative content that I needed to really attract in, again, the clients that I wanted. So I'll talk more about stages and how to leverage your time on stages and stuff like that, maybe in another video if you guys are interested about that. Just drop a note. But this video right here is really just a time for me to reflect around what my personal brand has done for me, and to hopefully encourage you guys to really start getting out there and building some goodwill and building a personal brand. I also should say before I continue, all a personal brand is, I use this fancy word, a lot of people use this fancy word, but all a personal brand is your reputation. And what the online space does is help us just magnify our reputation, right? And so everybody has a reputation. Everybody has a personal brand right now. And so you don't hear me saying these words like start a personal brand or begin a personal brand. You already have a personal brand and you already have a reputation. What the online space and these cameras and these phones allow us to do is magnify that reputation, right? And so again, having this reputation now gets you into rooms that you might not have even known existed. I went to Anguilla with around 20 to 30 other Black entrepreneurs. Everybody there was doing at least 7 figures in their business. There were some 8 and 9 figure folks there as well. And even just a year before I went to Anguilla with these folks, I didn't even know a room like this existed. But because of my goodwill, personal brand, me building a business up to a certain level, I was now not only introduced to these people, I was also then introduced to this room that was thousands of miles away from where I lived, right? And we just had a blast just masterminding with each other and getting to know each other. But those are the types of things that are unlocked for you when you really get intentional and build a brand. And this isn't just for me, right? You can think of even, like I watched the show, I'm blanking on it right now, Married to Medicine, right? And I now live in Atlanta. Some of those doctors on that show have some of the largest practices here in Atlanta. And I'm not taking anything away from those doctors, right? It's one of those reality TV shows. I'm not taking anything away from those doctors, but they have some of the largest practices. And it's probably not because they're the best doctor, right? It's probably not because Dr. Jackie is the best OBGYN, right? Again, I don't know Dr. Jackie. I don't know anything about her. But when you think about brand building and the environment and the economy that we live in, we don't live in one where the best wins. And I had to tell myself that one day. I don't live in an economy where the best agency owner is going to win, where the best personal brand builder is going to win, where the best Facebook ads person is going to win. We started off doing Facebook ads, right? I had to tell you to myself and humbly say to myself, Casey, you're not going to win by being the best. You're going to win by having the most attention. And that's something that I had to tell you guys. I don't care if you're a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, a school teacher, or an entrepreneur. You're not going to win by being the best. You're going to win by having the most attention, right? Now, still try to be the best. Still, I'm not saying put out any half-baked ideas, right, or half-baked products. But in this game, in this economy, in this environment that we live in, it is the folks with the most attention that win, right? And so that is what I think about personal brand. Outside of that, outside of making more income, right? The number one thing that drives me when it comes to my brand every day, even on days like this where I'm like, shoot, I got to make this video in 10 seconds, in 10 minutes, is just the potential impact, right? Like I said, I think about myself in 2019, 2020, where I was thinking more about leaving my corporate job and becoming an entrepreneur. And I just wished I could just see like raw footage of some of these people that I looked up to or was admiring their journey. I wish I could have seen it from the beginning, right? And those are the types of levels of impact that you're able to have by just building a personal brand. And I always wake up and say, even if I just touch one person or help one person, like that is worth me taking 10 minutes to make this video. You know, like how selfish would it be of me to not sit down, take 10 minutes to help this video when I could help somebody change the trajectory of their life, right? And so we tell all of our clients that at the end of the day, in our agency, we're impact architects, right? Our clients are great folks, great business owners, great thought leaders. And what we're doing is just helping them with that packaging of the content to reach more people, to impact more people, to build stronger and wider legacy. But I also am not shy about talking about money. And I tell our clients all the time, the larger the impact, the larger the income, right? Income follows impact. And so even I'm telling you, if you are one of those people that are scared to talk on camera, like, I don't know what to say, oh, I fumble over my words, oh, I'm not as good on camera, you can do it. A lot of people don't know this, but I grew up having speech problems. I still am not that comfortable in front of a camera, but I do it because I know the impact that it can have on somebody else's life. And I know the impact, again, transparently, that it can have on my pockets and that it's had on my pockets, me making these videos. All right. So I wanted to debunk that myth. First is that you're not good on camera. The second thing that I wanted to say that a lot of people always tell me is that you need millions of followers to make money online. I just told you guys, I have maybe 250,000 followers. And even on this YouTube channel, it's like 800 people over here. Take it from me, who has made $2+ million from the people on my email list and in my social media. It's around 250,000. You do not need millions of followers to start making millions of dollars online. What you need is some sort of phone. You don't even need these fancy equipment and these cameras and all this stuff. You need some sort of device that we all have, generally, if you're watching this YouTube video. And what you need is some story. All you need is a story and a device to share that story. And you know the killer part? Is that we all generally have some sort of device, and we all 1000% have a story to start sharing to the world. And that's all you need to get started and start putting out goodwill into this world. You also really need to be authentic. I show up super authentic here. I got on sweatpants. I probably actually have on mismatched socks. I don't know if you guys could see those. But show up as yourself, right? I even tell most of our clients this, and we have to do a lot of coaching with them on this, is that the world doesn't need another Mark Cuban. The world doesn't need another Tabitha Brown. The world doesn't need another Jake Paul. The world doesn't need another Mr. Beast. The world needs you. The world needs just Casey Brown as Casey Brown is. The world needs you as you are. And so please, when you turn on that camera or you turn on this phone to start telling your story and making impact, be you. Show up exactly as you, because that is what's going to set you apart. Back to this thing around, it's not the best that wins. The thing that makes you different as a business owner, as a doctor, as an engineer, and as an executive, as a teacher, whatever it is that you do, as a stay-at-home mom, the thing that makes you different is you. It is you. And that's why people are going to come to you, flock to you, follow you, and be impacted by you, is because of you and your personality. So show up exactly as you are, and that takes practice. I will say it takes practice, but please, please, please show up exactly as you are. The last thing that I have is that you need to be an expert to share. A lot of people tell me this when I'm speaking on stages or doing something like, okay, Casey, I hear you. I'm bought into personal brand. I'll do it once I become like an expert, once I make $1 million, or once I'm at this level. And I always look at them and say, you are already an expert. In whatever phase of your life you're in, whether you're just figuring it out, whether you're contemplating a pivot, whether you are a millionaire, an executive, whether you are just lost your job and you're now trying to figure out what's next, you are an expert in the phase of life you are right now. And that's what people need to hear. Again, I'm on here telling you guys I've made $2 million. To some people, that's like, holy cow. To some people, that's like little baby steps. To most of our clients, that's little baby steps, right? I'm just entering the game. And so I want you to get that out of your head. If this resonates with you, I know it probably doesn't resonate with you, but if it resonates with your friend, I want you to get out of your head on that, because you are an expert and you have something to share. Again, let's think about this. If I would have started documenting and being intentional about documenting my process when I was just starting, which I was an expert in that phase of my life then, right? Those videos would have probably helped a ton of people. Again, you are an expert right where you are. Two, the other thing that I want you to keep in mind is think about the journey that you're about to go on and embark on, and how cool it's going to be to look back at the beginning. And three, the third thing is that people love cheering for the underdog. People love rooting you on this journey. And so as you're starting, share, document the process, which is, again, what I'm about to start doing more intentionally. All right. And I know I sprinkled a couple things within there as some little like words of encouragement, but truly, again, the biggest things that I tell all of our clients is be authentic. Be as true to yourself and as authentic, blah, blah, blah. That's authentic for me. I just told you I've grown up having speech problems. So me stumbling over my words is authentic to me. But be as authentic as you can on these platforms. Show up as you. If you get dolled up and put on your makeup and do your thing, show up as that. If that's not your thing, show up as that. However you show up as you. And again, if you haven't done a lot of like inner work, maybe therapy, journaling, sitting with yourself to really discover who you are authentically, please do that. And maybe take us along that journey of, hey, y'all, and I'll tell you about one client, we actually did this with her, but hey, y'all, I'm trying to like discover my voice. I'm trying to discover my voice after corporate has maybe shifted my voice, after my family has maybe shifted my voice, after society has shifted my voice. I'm now on this journey of trying to figure out my voice, right? And so if you are on that self-discovery journey, document that. But at the end of the day, be authentic and show up as yourself. Number two, this is a more tactical piece of advice, but the number one thing that I see a lot of people do is try to attack all platforms. They try to go YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, all the things all at once. You can even see in my journey, the number one platform for me and really accelerating my brand was TikTok. And I actually haven't even posted on TikTok probably all year. But that was the number one platform for me that I showed up on every day for about 2 years. I really got good at that platform. And outside of that, I haven't really been super intentional about any other platform. But what I always tell all of our clients is to pick one platform, max two if you're at a certain range on those platforms, right? Which I would say is probably like 100K. So once you hit 100K, maybe you can start diversifying. But pick one platform and go all in. Whatever that platform is for you, whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's TikTok, whether it's YouTube, right? Pick one platform and go all in. Do not try to do all of the things at the same time. You're gonna fail. Let me just tell you that. Also, your skills might not be great for all these platforms, right? You might not be good at writing, so why go on LinkedIn? You might not be the strongest in short form video, so why do TikTok, right? So first, dabble, analyze where you feel the best, what platform you feel the best on, and really just go all in there. Like I say, try to get your first 100,000 followers there, which may sound like a feat. It's about the reps, right? But become an expert on that platform. If it's YouTube, probably like 10,000 subs is generally what I say there. If it's Instagram, TikTok, what have you, 100,000. If it's LinkedIn, maybe like 10,000 there. But try to put in the reps and get to your first big benchmark. And I'll break down a lot of those platforms if you guys think that's interesting and what I think are the best benchmarks to hit on those platforms. But all this the same, pick one platform and dominate there and then move on to your second platform. So with that, guys, welcome to some YouTube reflections, some YouTube thoughts. If you guys have questions, please put them in the comments. Again, I want to start showing up here and just doing more of these like super casual check-ins and just really document the journey, share insights, share money things. The reason people ask me all the time too, like why I'm so transparent, especially with money, is because this stuff doesn't make me, right? I have great family, I have great friends. Those are the things that really make me and add a lot of value into my life. And the people that I love in my life could care less about any dollar amount. And so I think that's why I don't care too much about it either. So if you guys ever have questions or want me to break things down, especially even money stuff, always ask me, because I want this to be a super transparent kind of like conversation. I know it's a one-way conversation, but if you have questions or whatever, leave comments, because we're about to start having these little casual talks over here and reflecting and breaking things down. So with that, here's the start of us trying to document more on YouTube. All right. The dogs are literally about to run in right now. So with that, cut the cameras.